Manifestations of the targeted problem. Welcome to the third video in the Bessie Advocacy Manual series. How does the targeted problem affect people or the environment? The question is how the problem manifests itself. This involves analyzing the causes and consequences of the targeted problem. Let's start with the causes. In general, these can be endogenous, or internal, exogenous, or external, direct, or indirect. The analysis of the causes can be oriented towards the political level, to question the political will of the authorities, materialized by the existence or not of a policy designed to resolve the problem. It can also take a legislative approach, to question the existence or not of an appropriate normative framework to address the problem, and its effectiveness if there is any. In addition, it can focus on the human side, to analyze whether or not dedicated personnel have been trained, if this is the case, whether the team is demotivated, and whether or not tools and other resources are in place to accomplish tasks assigned. Likewise, on the financial front, to scrutinize whether or not an adequate budget has been adopted. Finally, the analysis of causes can focus on logistics, to question the existence or not of adequate infrastructures. As far as consequences are concerned, they can be visible, conspicuous, short, long-lasting, or latent. Furthermore, the consequences observed may be the result of no action or steps from local or national authorities, for example, the absence of appropriate measures or solutions to resolve the problem. Or limited action, for example measures that have been undertaken but have fallen short of the mark, and the problem continues. Or actions that have had adverse effects and have therefore not solved the problem. Are there any tools for analyzing the causes and consequences of a problem? The problem tree model could be an alternative. This model works on the basis of a main problem, whose causes and consequences are broken down, establishing a path from macro to micro. The aim is to identify the concrete causes of the problem and to list the concrete consequences it generates. Let's see un exemple. When asked why children no longer attend to school, we identify two causes. On the one hand, they are unmotivated, on the other, the school system is not effective. Once again, we take the first direct cause, children are unmotivated, and we ask ourselves why. We then identify two other concrete causes. On the one hand, families are in financial difficulty, and, on the other, children do not eat enough. A closer look at the reasons for the family's financial difficulties reveals that the parents have lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19 and agriculture yields are low, so parents are disinterested in their children's schooling. Returning to the core issue, we now look at the consequences of not addressing this situation and identify, if children no longer attend to school, the delinquency rate will continue to rise, as child labor and early marriage. By bringing together all the causes and consequences, we build a problem tree which we will continue to use later in the construction of an advocacy process. How can we control the manifestations of the targeted problem? We need to map up the manifestations of the problem in time and space. This involves describing the visible and invisible signs and symptoms of the problem, based on the following questions. Which people or areas are affected or most affected? Which people or areas benefit or would benefit from the situation? How long has the problem been going on? Have any measures been taken, yes or no? If so, what was the positive or negative impact? Has it had a positive, insufficient, or partial positive effect, or has it been a counterproductive measure? Or is it a positive measure to be strengthened? If not, why not? Does it make the problem worse? Why are the effects of the measure taken limited or insufficient? Is there a lack or inadequacy of human, financial, logistical, technical, or other resources? It's important to consider the impact of the consequences observed and described on the lives of individuals and groups. The following questions can help to do this. Who are the victims? Is there a problem related to unequal access to justice, a protection gap, a gender issue? What are the obstacles to the enjoyment of rights? Are the effects individual, collective, or both? Are the effects latent, for example, not yet visible, but soon or later to occur, based on objective elements observed today? We hope these ideas will help identify the manifestations of a targeted problem as the third step in the advocacy process. On behalf of Bessie, we thank you for your attention